Don't settle for fakes. My duel-taining is the real deal.
Hey everyone, it's mekklord again. So, the ban list finally went live, which means that the game is finally enjoyable again. So I decided to play some ranked games, and what do I find but absolutely nothing but Destiny Hero. This is probably one of the best decks to climb ladder. It's weird, because I think like Allies is marginally better going first, but Destiny Hero still deserves some, wiggle room going second, especially this version, which has elected to cut all of the elemental hero garbage, like you don't play Wonder Driver, you don't play Liquid Soldier or Sunrise or Miracle Fusion, to focus on a more disruption-centric variants. I'm even playing very few cards compared to these variants. I could afford to play like one more Bottomless, one more Warning Point, maybe a different choice for my limited 3 traps, although Crackdown has been coming very handy lately. And this is the deck that I've been playing and climbing ladder with. The difference between this deck in the regular version is that in regular version you make Wonder Driver and then you recoup the polymerization that you use for Dystopia, but in this version you're more concerned with establishing a board presence before going for the Dystopia line, especially going second, thanks to Drill Dark or any Destiny hero on your scale, basically enabling any Link 2 plays, which can get rid of problematic boss monsters or back row, and then you just go and punch with Dystopia really hard. I guess I could be playing more back row, but I'd rather have hands where I have too many monsters than hands where I have too much back row, especially going sick. I'm gonna go back and fix it some. Let me know what you think. Other than that, yeah, it's just same Destiny Hero stuff as usual, you know? It's a cool deck. Let me show you how it works. So this first game is against Playmaker, and Playmaker can mean a lot of things. It can mean cyber stuff, it can mean cyber salamangreat, it can mean Orcust or Gooky using 3 effects. Even though a lot of like Trickstar players have moved on to Blue Angel, it can still mean Trickstar. So I'm not going first anyway, so it doesn't matter. He is on Gooky. It's just the same deck that has been taken off the ban list for some reason. Going through the Gooky motions, you know, Receprex and Rescorpio searching, Twist Cobra, and the rematch, telegraphing that he already has the headbat in hand, which, I mean, of course he does, you know. So headbat, summons, and then Thunder Ogre, and then he gets the additional normal, and he's gonna search the Suprex. No, he doesn't search the Suprex because he already has it. I don't know. Just summon the Orchestra. I guess you don't really need to like search the Suprex. Well, I guess you. It depends in your hand, but if you want to like keep your rematch, I think it's getting misplayed actually. I wasn't paying attention when this was happening live. I was just I think I went to the bathroom when this happened during the actual game that I played because I don't give a shit about Gooky. Anyway, he's using the rematch now, bringing back the Suprex and the Rescorpio, and 3 effects to gain a bunch of life points. So that's the turn 1 that I have to face. These are basically dead cards. I guess if I scroll, I can see there's 1 Twist Cobra, and what else could that be? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. But he doesn't have any set, just 1, potentially 2 Disruption. I feel like he's going to use it on the Polymerization as soon as I activate that. So you have to perform some cleanup duty first. First of all, Rota in order to search out the Drill Dark. We normal summon the Drill Dark in order to special a Decider, which is going to get us back a hero in the end phase. Link summon Nightmare Cerberus, which we are going to discard a Celestial to pop a card. Suprex at this point is not negating it, is just going to get to search a headbat with Suprex. Then I activate the effect to shove a Melee in my grave, which is going to serve as Link material for Nightmare Unicorn. Absolutely insane, by the way, that this skill just lets you do that. Like, just this part of the skill on its own is insane, I feel, and probably should get nerfed, in my opinion. Anyway, Nightmare Unicorn is going to pitch a Decider in order to force the Master Ogre effect, because he needs to like return Gooky cards from the field to his hand in order to be able to activate it. And he doesn't have anything either, so whether he negates the Nightmare Unicorn or not makes literally no difference at this stage. Anyway, Malicious is going to hit the field once again and serve as fusion material for Dystopia. Dystopia, pretty cool card, pretty cool card. I'm going to use the other part of the skill to boost the Dystopia in order to turn its quick effect pop destruction effect on, and then just beat over the Master Ogre because he doesn't play gooky. What's the gooky and trap? Iron? Whatever. That doesn't matter because he doesn't have it. Normal summon the Twist Cobra, special the Headbat to make a Jet Ogre, and then the Headbat in the Twist Cobra are both gonna search something. He searches the Subrex. Maybe you should have done that last turn, I guess. Another Subrex. You're playing 3 of them. Why didn't you do this before? Anyway, he's gonna activate the finishing move. At this point, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna Dystopia that, and that's the end of the game, functionally. This one's against Water Exes, because that's the only thing Shark plays, just Water Exe stuff and Water Exe accessories. So, let's see how this one also went. Also open a bunch of monsters. 1 back row is fine. I guess I could be playing more back row, but I really like opening a bunch of monsters. Anyway, Moray of Greed returning, Abyss Megalo, Deep Sea Diva, Abyssteus pitching the Abyss Megalo that he returned and drew immediately to search the Abyss Gund. And then normal Atlantean infantry territory. That's like the weakest Water Exes play ever, but Abyss Dweller does check this deck pretty well. So I draw Roto again, which is really cool. Roto into Drill Dark, into special summoning a Decider once again. Link these 2 up into Nightmare Phoenix because I'm more concerned about this back row than I am about Abyss Dweller. I get to pop the back row, which was a Cosmic Cyclone, which would really have put a dent in my plans. Malicious is going to hit the field at the stage, immediately to be popped by the heavy infantry detached to activate the Abyss Dweller. So that was a really good play for my opponents, because basically meant that he had nothing but Nightmare Phoenix and a piece of Disruption, which was still enough for him to concede. I don't get it. Maybe he really break badly, but I don't know, man. I don't think you should have conceded there. This third game is against a very interesting deck that is very cool and very epic and very fun to watch unfold. So let's check this out. My opponent is playing Crawler, and he activates the skill Middle Ages Mech, but he's not on Ancient Gear, because that's not a real deck that anybody wants to play. He sets to normal summon Mech Knight Avram. In 2023. This card was ass in 2022, when Mech Knights were first introduced and made playable. And you're still playing it. You do you. Anyway, sets a couple of passes. I opened the Malicious, it's no worry, because I can still Drill Dark into Decider, activate the effect. I do something very silly here, which is called Evil Swarm Exciter. But he warning points immediately, and then activate the Exciter 9 effect to just wipe his field clean. Because the other set was an MST, so I did well to do so as well. And then the Malicious, and then poly the 2 Militia in order to make a Dystopia. I can't kill him this turn because Evil Swarm Exciter Knight prevents your opponent from taking damage at all the turn that you summon it. But I just pass on this. Like, decent-ish Bonnie, Book of Moon, bottomless. He doesn't have anything. Normal summon the A-lister and then concede. What was his deck? That list of Invoked Mech Knights doesn't quite work in Duel Link without Mikaba, I reckon. This is Yuma and Astral. What could they be playing? I don't know. I guess we'll get to see it together. The reason I'm showcasing this game is not that they're particularly... Like, there's stomps, most of them, but they get to showcase the wide variety of plays that you can perform when you're not focusing on making exactly one the driver. You know? Like this game, I get to make Evil Swarm Nightmare, because I don't know what my opponent is on, and Nightmare is always a safe bet as to what kind of thing you want to make. Anyway... Probably get rid of the Celestial and the Malicious. I guess I should have used the Malicious in hand to make sure the Celestial would be live next turn. Dystopia Inflict 8, activate the skill to boost it by 2 so it can pop a card, and that was a really stupid activation of the Saita that I get to play in the end phase. Anyway, my opponent sets 4 cards, which never a good sign. I get to pop a dual yield, which makes me think that this guy is on 6 Samurai. Activates the Crackdown at this stage to take my Dystopia. Not very cool. I go into Nightmare Phoenix with the Nightmare and the Decider to pop the other back row. Activate the skill to return a melee to my deck. Add the Plasma for free that I'm just going to use as discard fodder as I special summon Nightmare Unicorn, shuffling back the Crackdown, returning control of my Dystopia to me, and drawing 2 thanks to this Celestial that I sent last turn. And even special summon the melee. Because if my math is right, this could be lethal, except that this is Fuma, because of course it is. Of course it's Fuma. Why wouldn't it be? Anyway, I just get to beat over the secret legend of the 6 Samurai, whatever it's called, and pass. He has 2 cards in hand. Set a monster. I'm going to activate Eternal Die at this stage, tributing the melee to draw a card and throw his monster, but it's another Fuma, because this guy is just cracked, just draws the Fuma every time. Anyway, I have even more disruption. He doesn't have anything to stop this lethal, so I just win. That's just what this deck can do. This deck can just win very easily. And last but not least, for these replays of the day, I'm playing against yugioh, and this also probably telegraphs some sort of synchro deck. I thought this game was really interesting, actually, because I opened a really garbage hand, like absolutely terrible. Anytime I see this card, I think I should cut it from my deck, but then I remember that I wouldn't be able to recycle my malicious. Anyway, I just go for some very classy stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have done it this way. I think I should have done it the other way, because you'll get to see what I do next. Anyway, melee, bring back the third, summon the third melee rather, in order to go for Ferocious Flame Swordsman. The correct play here would have been to first summon the Ferocious Flame Swordsman and then parley for Dystopia, so I could have used the Dystopia effect to burn for 800. But this is still pretty good. What this setup basically accomplishes is this can float into any warrior from your grave, but more importantly boosts all warriors on the field, including Dystopia, so you don't have to use the second part of the skill. You can keep that for later, so you have basically one more disruption, one more Zodiac Trident that you can use, which is kind of nice. I'm going to set to Crackdown Bottomless. Let's see what my opponent is on. Opponent draws, activates a Sartic Departure, so I'm thinking, oh, well, I see that it's Synchron, and I know that they're on Sartic Synchrons, which is a deck that I still haven't fully understood this day. Mekklord, tributing what's this one called? I'm lost. Megapolar. Yeah, they look the same too. Activate Bond, discards Max Synchron, add Synchron Explorer. I don't know what the correct way to interrupt this deck is. So when it Synchro Chases and then normal summon Synchron Explorer, I'm just like, this is probably important for his game plan. I'm just gonna crack down this. It was like the worst thing I could have done. I don't know this deck enough to competently play against it. Anyway, make Speed Raid Kydrake, which I didn't even know you could make in this. That's pretty cool. I activate the Dystopia effect to pop the Kydrake at this stage, even though my old field gets wiped anyway. Ferocious Flame Swordsman brings back the Dystopia, but with no boost, it's basically a 2800 vanilla that does burn for 800. So that's pretty cool. Mektanus, getting rid of the Mega Tanus in order to retrieve it. Special on itself. The Mega Tanus is going to get rid of the other Mega Tanus, and then he's going to make the Sarctic Polary, get the field spell, and then with the field spell, he gets to bring back the Megapolar, and then well, it's not a Synchro Summon, but get rid of these two to go into Septentrion, which has more attack than Dystopia, so I can't really do anything. Set the Crackdown Pass. That's what I am at. Not a great position, but one good enough, because all he does is attack with the Septentrion and you have Crackdown. Then I return a melee to my deck with a skill, bring back the Plasma that I immediately shuffle back because I don't want Plasma, and then summon a melee and link these two into Nightmare Phoenix. I don't pop the Big Dipper because there's no points, but that's why you play Crackdown. That just serves as link material. This is a link deck now, by the way. Sets a card, doesn't really accomplish anything. I top deck Drill Warrior because I'm based, and that's the end of the game. So yeah, that's what this deck does. I know what you're wondering, is this version of the deck better than the one that uses Sunrise and Liquid Soldier and Miracle Fusion, or one that uses Beatrice to send Tackle Crusader? I don't know the answer, but this is my preferred version for now. You know what, I don't like too many bottomlesses because there's so many cards that get around it, but I do like 3 expendable die, and I feel like maybe I even cut the bottomless because it doesn't come up that often. I don't know. Anyway, this version of the deck is pretty cool. It's the closest thing we have to a control deck. Once again enabled by a completely bonkers skill that probably should not exist. But also the skills mean that people actually play Dystopia, which is fine enough by me. That's all I have to say on the matter. If you want to play this deck, be wary of mirror matches. It can get quite tedious. A bit annoying because you're both playing grind game decks. It's not that fun. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, everyone. I'll be back with more stuff shortly. Take care, and I'll see you guys and gals in non-binary pals next time.